Hi guys, and welcome. So I know many of us are at home doing intense booty workouts or going for runs since quarantine happened, and we're not able to get into the studio to stretch so much. Maybe yoga has become less common in our lives, and that's okay. Maybe you've never even practiced yoga or had any sort of stretching practice after your glute or leg day. So I'm here just to offer a quick stretch of your legs, glutes, and all things lower body. We'll be using a strap, so if you have one, then go ahead and grab that. If you don't have a strap, that's okay. You can use something like a belt or even a towel will work fine. And we're just gonna go ahead and jump in. So I'm actually doing a booty workout this afternoon with a friend online, and I'll be taking my own class again right after to stretch everything out. So come down onto your backs. Take a moment here, set your strap aside, kind of within hand's reach, we'll be using it, but just taking a few breaths. So long inhales and exhales through the nose and mouth. Feeling your heart rate slow down. Maybe you're still cooling down from your workout. Close the eyes if you haven't already, and just come here to be with yourself, your body, your breath on the mat for the next few minutes. You put in a lot of the hard work already with whatever workout you did. Maybe you didn't, maybe you're just joining in for the stretch, and that's okay too, that's great. Take one more big breath in and out. All right, we're going to start with the right leg. So go ahead and bring your knee in towards your chest. Give it a bit of a squeeze and rock from side to side. So starting to lubricate that hip joint. Right away, notice what's happening in your left leg as well. So trying as best you can to keep it active. So you'll want to flex through your left toes, pull up on your left knee. Take a few breaths. Eventually stop with your right knee drawing towards your right armpit. If you've taken any of my yoga classes before, you'll know that the breath is really what's most important here. So if anything ever becomes too intense and you find you're holding your breath, just pull back. If you're feeling it, you're doing it, and come back to your inhale and exhale. Okay, go ahead and grab your strap and place it around the ball of your foot. So if you are one of my high heel wearing friends, I'm not one of those, the part of your foot that is touching the ground. And if you're not, it's not so much the arch of your foot, but right above, kind of where your toes meet the rest of your foot bones. So you're going to go ahead and extend your right heel up towards the sky. Your right leg doesn't have to be straight here, that's okay. Pull back on your toes. And then you can loop the strap or belt, maybe the towel if it works, around your hands a few times. And right here, try and make both of your arms straight so you're not actually having to pull in with your upper body. So this is quite a passive stretch. And breathe here. And then go ahead and try and create some resistance. So you want to imagine that you could draw your leg away from you And at the same time, use the weight of your upper body to try and pull your leg towards you. So that might mean now, because we've been here for a couple moments, that the strap becomes a little bit shorter. Again, using the weight of your upper body here. Couple more breaths. One more, inhale. And exhale. All right, bring both ends of the strap now into your right hand. Place your left hand on top of your left hip. That's just to help keep it rooted here. And you're gonna open your right leg up over towards the right. Any amount here. That might not be a lot. That might be a lot. But wherever you go, just come to that edge of sensation. Try not to let your left hip rise up off the ground. Keep it rooted down into the ground. And breathe. So aiming to feel this now more on the inner line of your right leg. Notice if this pose is coming into your face or your jaw. See if you can relax all the muscles around your eyes. Create some space between the teeth. Take 2 more breaths. One more, inhale. And exhale. All right, use your core here. So draw in through your belly and bring your leg back up towards center. And we're gonna switch arms. So both ends of the strap come into your left hand now. And this time, right thumb comes into your right hip crease. So we're coming into a little bit of an IT stretch. Now your right leg may not move far at all. That's okay. But you're gonna keep your right hip on the ground, keep it rooted down, and bring your right foot over towards the left any amount. Just until you start to feel that horrible feeling. It shouldn't be pain. It shouldn't be shooting, sharp, hot, anything like that. It should feel like a stretch. This time on the outer edge of your right leg. Take a few breaths. One more, inhale. And exhale. All right, use your core, inhale back through center. Release the straps, extend both legs long on the mat. And close your eyes, take a couple breaths here, and just notice the difference between sides. Notice any urges to fidget or fix. Just see if you can be here with the sensations that you feel. All right. On to the left side. So go ahead, bring your left knee in towards your chest. And then again, starting with just a little bit of lubrication in the hip joint. So rocking from side to side, taking any circles. If you are taking circles, make sure to go in both directions. Noticing what's happening in the right leg this time. So flexing through your right foot, pulling up on your right knee. It'll create a little bit more space along the upper side of your right quadricep. Breathing here. And then grabbing onto your strap, placing it around the ball of your left foot. And then again, you'll want to use the weight of your upper body. So instead of pulling in with your arms like so, creating the strap at the appropriate length for you, just so that your upper body can really do the work here. And then right away notice if there is a difference between sides. There usually is for most of us. I know there is for me. And And again, you'll want to flex through your left foot. Draw your heel up towards the sky, toes towards your shin. And breathe. So really as best you can here, letting go of all muscular effort. Giving your muscles here, your body here as well, your lungs and your mind a little bit of space. Okay. Now creating that resistance in that shape. So imagine that you could essentially bring your left leg back down to the ground. So you're pulling away from your body. And at the same time, you'll want to use the weight of your upper body. So you might need to make that strap a little bit shorter. Use the weight of your upper body to create the contrasting motion here. So pulling the leg towards you, at the same time away from you. And breathe here, 3 breaths. Relax your jaw, your shoulders, your eyebrows. 1 more breath in. And out. Okay. Both ends of the strap into your left hand. And right hand right on top of right hip. You know where we're going. Keep your right hip rooted down and begin to open your left leg to the side any amount. You might have to use your core here to help keep your right hip rooted. Can you be here? Take 3 more breaths. Two more. Last one, inhale. And exhale. All right, use your core. Draw into your belly button and bring your left leg back up towards center. All right, switch the grip. Both ends of the strap into your right hand. Left thumb this time into your left hip crease. Keep your hips as they are, so you're not going to lift everything up off the ground. You're simply going to move your left leg over towards the right any amount, just until you feel that IT band stretch. If you're like, oh my gosh, this is the most uncomfortable thing ever, I'm with you. If you're like, I don't feel anything, then maybe you're one of those incredibly lucky people who has really open IT bands. Or maybe your left hip is lifting up off the ground. So keep it rooted down. Take 1 more big breath in. And out. All right. Bring your left leg back in towards center. Release the strap. You can let the strap go towards the side. Both legs long along the mat. Close the eyes. Stay in stillness. Just take a couple breaths. Right away, notice all of the blood rushing through your legs. Any sensations that you feel, take 2 more here. All right, open your eyes. Hug both knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. And we'll meet at hands and knees. If you're coming with me, we're going to rock and roll up and down the length of your spine a few times, maybe hovering at the top in a supported bow. And eventually coming towards the top, crossing over hands and knees. And we'll meet in child's pose just for a few breaths. Stretching out the hips. And for this child's pose, bring your big toes to touch, knees wide apart. And lower your forehead down towards the ground. If your forehead doesn't find the ground, that's okay. You can stack one palm on top of the other like so. And keep your hips sinking back towards your heels. Close the eyes, take a few breaths. One more inhale. And exhale. All right, extend your arms out in front of you if they aren't there already, and then come up onto hands and knees. Tuck your toes and send your hips high to the sky for downward facing dog. If you'd like, you can walk your dog here a couple times, bending one knee and then the other. Be here just for a little bit. It's more of a transition pose today. And then go ahead, lift your right leg high to the sky, big breath in. And exhale, bring your right knee down behind your right wrist. Toes pointing back towards the back left corner of your mat. You might need to inch your left knee back here, so setting up for pigeon pose. And if pigeon pose doesn't work for you, if you feel this in your right knee at all, then come on out. You can come onto your back and take figure 4 with the right ankle crossed over left shin. You'll want to keep your foot flexed just to help protect your knee, especially if you were feeling that in pigeon. And then you can draw this whole shape in towards your body. You should feel that in your right outer hip. And if you're my friends in pigeon pose, so take a few breaths sitting up tall to begin with. Try and square your hips off, so pulling right hip back, left hip forward. And if you're here and you're like, oh my gosh, that was such an intense booty workout, I feel everything already, you can hang out here. It's a great place to be. If you'd like, you can fold forward, coming down onto your forearms, maybe all the way down to the ground, but come to a place where you feel it and your whole body isn't holding on to so much tension to be there. So you want to be able to breathe wherever you are. And in these hip openers, especially after a workout, we can have a tendency to want to rush through them, maybe skip ahead a little bit in the video or go right onto the other side and finish up. Or maybe you're checking out, so finding ways to distract. See if you can be here with your breath, with the sensation for 3 more breaths. Two more. One more. Inhale. And exhale. All right, wherever you are, we are going to meet back in downward facing dog. If you'd like, you can take another 3-legged dog with your right leg high to the sky, except this time bending the knee, stacking the hips, so opening everything up. Might feel nice to take some circles with the right knee, whatever you need to do to release that side. I won't be teaching any flows today, but if you really like to take a flow between sides, then by all means go ahead and do so. But whenever you're ready, we'll meet back in downward facing dog for a big breath in and out. And then inhale, left leg high to the sky. And exhale, left knee behind left wrist, toes pointed here, facing back towards the right back corner of your mat. Again, inching your right knee back, keeping the hips as square as you can. I'm going to shift forward here. Again, if you feel this in your left knee, come back onto your back, take that figure 4 shape instead. And take a couple breaths here to begin with, squaring off the hips. Noticing any difference between sides. And thinking where you're going to head next. So as best you can, try and match what you did on the first side. It's not to say you'll be exactly the same in terms of openness on sides, but as best you can, try and match. And let's go ahead and head over there. Take a moment just to notice where you're holding on to tension here. And then use your breath to help soften. See all these leg stretches and glute stretches right now. It's not only good for your body in the sense of your muscles and being less sore tomorrow, taking care of your joints, but there are benefits that come from simply breathing into these uncomfortable situations. They make you a little bit more resilient in other parts of your life, especially if you're one of my friends who's resistant to stretching. Take one more big breath in and out. All right, slowly begin to walk your way back up. And again, we'll meet in downward facing dog or whatever you need to release between sides, but as best you can, try and match. This time left leg high if you're going there, opening the hip up, maybe taking some circles with your left knee. Meeting back in downward facing dog. And then walking your feet up towards your hands, so you're now at a forward fold. My friends, if you feel this in your low back at all, then go ahead and bend your knees, that's okay. And because this is a leg-focused yoga class or stretch post-workout, if you can, straighten your legs. It'll help get everything into your hamstrings here. Unless, of course, you're feeling this in your back at all, then bend the knees. You can go ahead, take whatever arms feel good. For me, it's grabbing opposite elbows, allowing my upper body weight to really do the work here. Maybe for you, it's interlacing hands behind the back. Maybe it's just releasing both hands down towards the ground, but really relax the head here. You can even shake it yes and no. Two more breaths. One more inhale. And exhale. All right, release whatever grip you've got. And slowly, vertebra by vertebra, tuck your tailbone and start to roll your way up to stand. So you can use the strength of those powerful open legs. Let your head be the last thing to arrive at the top. You can keep your eyes closed if you'd like, if they are. Mine have been. And then just take a big breath in, reach both arms up all the way overhead. And exhale, hands down through heart center. One more inhale. And exhale. And that's it. Thank you so much if you've tuned in for this leg stretch class. And yeah, I'll be making more content. Thanks so much for joining, and I hope to see you on the mat again. Take care.